On July 21st, 2018, we got two trailers for upcoming DCEU movies. The first one was for a big budget action film directed by James Wan called Aquaman. It was being promoted as a big scale superhero epic adventure filled with visual thrills, action, and comedy. So basically, it was being promoted as every other superhero movie in the last 10 years. But then came another trailer out of nowhere for a completely different film. Instead of focusing on big action set pieces and otherworld scenarios, this trailer decided to focus on the character and establish the tone of the entire movie. That trailer was for the movie SHAZAM, and I've been waiting ever since to see it in theaters because as soon as I had seen the teaser, I knew this was going to be something special. And after a glorious early screening for the movie, I can say with all my might, SHAZAM is great. SHAZAM is a great superhero film that understands what the genre is all about and decides to take it back to its roots. SHAZAM manages to find the balance between a good story and character development through a very funny and great screenplay. SHAZAM is a perfect blend of the old campy aspects of superheroes and the modern, updated take on the genre. This movie makes me want more DCU movies and makes me want to fall in love with these characters even more. SHAZAM is great. And it all is due to two main components that are integral to filmmaking that have been forgotten for centuries. I had to go into the basement records of the library to find these two terms. The rare formula for a successful movie that makes SHAZAM so amazing are story and character. I will talk about the movie with spoilers, so prepare yourself as we delve deep into why SHAZAM is great. SHAZAM! AM to the PM, PM to the AM. One of the reasons SHAZAM works so well is because of the established ensemble and how every individual has an important role to play in the story. From Billy Batson to Thaddeus Savannah, from the foster parents to the robbers who try to steal money from the store, each character has its own personality that makes each one stand out. Billy Batson, our main character, has an arc that is both satisfying and heartbreaking. At first, Billy is portrayed as a smartass who can take care of himself as he assaults policemen and steals their food. But as the movie goes on, we understand why Billy is the way he is, and we root for him to find what he is looking for, even though we know it is wrong. And all of this is due to the way Billy is portrayed. Asher Angel nails the sarcastic sense of humor and the vulnerable nature of Billy. But when Billy finally obtains his powers and utters for the first time the word SHAZAM, you stop caring about everything else, as the movie fully immerses you into the world of SHAZAM. I had faith in Zachary Levi that he was going to pull a great SHAZAM, but holy crap, I was not expecting how much I would love the character. I had previously read the New 52 SHAZAM Origins run, which I had the grateful privilege of getting autographed by SHAZAM himself and Mark Strong. And so, I had a mental picture of what SHAZAM would feel and sound like. But Zachary Levi gives the character a full 360 spin and makes it his own. I can't see anyone else playing what I hope becomes an iconic character moving forward. Zachary Levi perfectly embodies the joy of being a kid with superpowers through his line delivery and charisma alone. Every time he speaks, I can't help but be reminded that deep down SHAZAM is still a kid. And that is achieved thanks to the wonderful screenplay that never forgets that deep down, SHAZAM is a lovable man-child. From the montage where SHAZAM and Freddy are testing his powers to the more absurd scenes like the photo ops with people on the streets, SHAZAM is consistently fun and entertaining. SHAZAM never, for a second, feels like an adult, and Asher Angel and Zachary Levi killed it as they alternate back and forth between Billy and SHAZAM. Also, side note, having Freddy, played by Jack Dylan Grazer, by SHAZAM's side balances the campiness aspect of the film, and reminds the audience that at the core of SHAZAM, there are two kids having fun discovering superpowers. SHAZAM's stellar cast also features Billy's foster family. This family is what gives SHAZAM its heart. It is through the interactions and dynamics of the family that SHAZAM finds the heart it needs and takes it a step further. Billy's foster family never for a second takes away from the superhero story. If anything, the family scenes add so much more to the table as they develop Billy's character even further and gives the movie a time to breathe from all the fun and gives us more slow and emotional scenes. Jesus Christ, I could go on and on about the characters, but I want to move forward into the next best aspect of the film. SHAZAM is the origin story of a kid adapting himself to his new powers that he receives from a hobo wizard. That summary is so under the barrel that cannot condense what this movie is about. SHAZAM is about Billy learning the meaning of family and opening himself up to the people who care about him. SHAZAM is about Billy trying to find his mother to receive closure from all those years when he was abandoned. SHAZAM is about learning to use the abilities you are given not to brag to the world, but to use them responsibly for the good of mankind. SHAZAM is about how similar childhoods do not define who you become in the future. SHAZAM is all of this and more. The main part of the story is Billy learning to become SHAZAM, but it is not just literal, it is figurative and emotional. Billy starts off as a pretentious douchebag who does not give a care in the world, and by the end of the movie, he is a loving brother who finds happiness in the people who accept him for who he is. Throughout the movie, we see Billy going through major changes. It is not like other superhero movies where as soon as a protagonist receives his powers, he becomes the hero we all love from the comics. No, SHAZAM takes his time to develop the human behind the costume. Billy receives his powers, and what does he do? He tries to buy alcohol with his new adult identity because he thinks he's not gonna get carded, like a kid would. He opens a YouTube channel to go viral, like a kid would. He has fun using his powers carelessly and for the amusement it gives him, like a kid would. SHAZAM understands its characters, and instead of shifting the pacing of the movie towards action scenes once Billy becomes SHAZAM, the film remains with a slow pace to focus on the characters. Billy has to go through many challenges and adversities before he can truly become SHAZAM. He faces the threat of Dr. Savannah. He abandons his family constantly in search of his real mother, and he is always bashing on the word family because he doesn't understand the true meaning behind it. It takes a long time before Billy learns how to be a hero, but seeing the emotional journey that he undergoes is beautiful. We understand Billy, and we feel for him. We want Billy to find happiness because even though he appears dead inside, like a 21st century male, he is desperately searching for his family. Seeing how the movie prefers to focus on the characters and not the action is inspiring. Literally, the movie contains almost no action until the very end, and instead decides to take a different, uncanny approach to superhero storytelling and puts our characters in the real world. Now, just to not sound like a fanboy, I do have some issues with the villain of the story, Dr. Savannah. Although the movie does take its time to develop his character arc and to portray him as a tragic character, I couldn't help but think that the creators wanted so badly to use Black Adam in this movie, but decided to save him to tell his story before facing off with SHAZAM. I am grateful that we are heading into a period in superhero filmmaking where supervillains are getting their own movies to be further developed as people and not antagonists. But for the sake of SHAZAM, Dr. Savannah worked, but I wish he had sung more Country Roads.
Country road, take me home.
In the end, if there is one superhero movie that I desperately want it to succeed, to have more stories like it, also counting Into the Spider-Verse future video coming soon, #self-promotion, is SHAZAM. I want to delve deeper into the mythology that comprises the character SHAZAM. I want to see more of Billy and Freddy's mischievous adventures. And for God's sakes, I want the vision of a director to come forth for once. The real hero of the movie is David F. Sandberg, who set off to tell a unique superhero story and did more than that. He understood that a superhero movie is more than intense CGI action and setting up other movies for an interconnected universe. He knew that fans, the fans who have stuck with this universe for so long, wanted a superhero story that focused on the character and not the universe. He turned what could have been yet another DCEU failure into a promising new path that the company is taking. So please, just say the magic word, so that the magic of this film may run through you and make you believe in superheroes once more.
SHAZAM! AM to the PM, PM to the AM. Eat up your per diem, you just got to hate them, boom. If I quit your PM, I still rock Mercedes, boom.